Hello, hello, hello again. It's Stevie B at PTC, and we're here again for another one of our awesome Piedmont Technical College live events. Today, we have with us Mr. Billy Morgan, and Billy is with the Upper Savannah SC Works program. And Billy, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and just give us a general overview of what SC Works is all about.
Okay. My name is Billy Morgan, and I work with the Upper Savannah region, the workforce region, and our region covers Greenwood, Abbeville, McCormick, Edgefield, Saluda, Newberry, and Lawrence counties. So we have 7 counties, uh, and we provide job seeker services. So anybody looking for work can come in and utilize our services. We also work with employers to help them find talent because we're just trying to marry those two together. We have employers calling and knocking and sending emails, and we have the same thing from job seekers. So uh, all of our services at the center are free. That's the one thing I want to make sure everybody knows. We have people um, that don't come and utilize us because they think we charge a fee. They also don't come in because they're working. They think they have to be unemployed to come into our centers, but that's not the case. Anybody is welcome to come in the doors. But I've been working with uh, workforce development in the role of the deputy director for a few years, but I've been with workforce development in total 10 years.
Mhm.
My background is manufacturing. I used to work at a place called Jarvis Cutting Tools in Greenwood.
Okay.
Then I worked at Fujifilm for 16 years. Uh, so I've got a lot of manufacturing background, and that comes in handy nowadays because that's where most of the hot jobs are. So
Well, Billy, one of the things when I was in admissions at Piedmont Tech, we did a lot of outreach services and a lot of programs. And this was back during the time when there were a lot of mill closings, a lot of, social change in terms of the employment landscape. And Piedmont Tech has always had a tremendous relationship working with Upper Savannah and SC Works. I mean, we partnered and went over and did presentations over in the mills. We did many presentations to displaced workers. And we also had at one point an SC Works office located at Piedmont Technical College on our campus. So that relationship has always been strong, and it's always been a partnership that served our communities tremendously well. Tell us a little bit more about how that is still a very workable relationship between SC Works and Piedmont Tech.
yeah, we really enjoy our relationship with Piedmont Tech. We've had a relationship well before I even went to work there. So it was kind of instilled in me from the beginning that Piedmont Tech is one of our core partners. They deliver a lot of the educational aspects to the services we offer. Uh, we partner with Piedmont Tech on many different things. The last few years, we've been working with Piedmont Tech to host our job fairs as
Okay.
well. And we get to connect with some of the benefits from that Tech has, which they utilize the billboards and the television station. They already have access to that. So we're able to tap into that without being charged a fee. So it's been a win-win situation for us. We are constantly reaching out with Piedmont Tech. We work with Trish Buis a lot these days with the manufacturing certification program. She's been real instrumental in helping us locate candidates. Uh, y'all have been very flexible to offer schedules that work with the job seekers we have. We have some who are parents or work a second shift job, and that's what we really like the best with Piedmont Tech is the flexible schedule. We've had some people that got enrolled in training, and maybe they went to training on day shift and they found a job. Well, they wanted to continue going to school. Well, those people can transition into night classes as long as they continue their training that they get qualified for. We will continue to pay for that.
Great.
So it's just been a really win-win situation, and the flexibility of Piedmont Tech and the things that they offer uh, is bar none. So.
Yeah. Now, you know, I'm going to put Piedmont Tech at the top of the list as partners with SC Works because, of course, you know, hey, it's PTC Live, and you know, I'm representing this fine institution for which I work. But there are multiple partners in our communities that you guys work very closely with, not just Piedmont Tech. You know, just to name one, you know, there's Voc Rehab, but there are others. Tell us about some of your other partners and your relationships with places like the Commission for the Blind, Adult Ed, DSS, and Goodwill. What are
Okay.
how do those relationships work?
Okay, I'll start that off with I am a Piedmont Tech alumni also.
Absolutely.
And my
I
daughter.
wanted you to be able to tell the people that. I didn't want to just throw that out there.
Yeah, and then I transferred into Lander and I got a 4-year degree from Lander. But my daughter did dual enrollment. So by the time she graduated high school, she basically had 2 years done. So she was able to graduate Lander by the time she was 20 because of the classes she took at Tech.
Mm-hmm.
But so we really appreciate that partnership. We do have partnerships with a lot of other organizations. We work with the Voc Rehab, the Commission for the Blind, the Adult Education. We also have Gleams, and then the Department of Social Services has a location in our centers. We also partner with Goodwill. They offer a senior employment program for people who are 55 years of age and older, and they send some of their staff there. And it's kind of like a training program to get these older workers some skills that they can transfer over into a permanent job. So it's kind of like a job training type setup. But all of our partners have a presence in our comprehensive center, and those that don't, in our other centers, we have connections and we make referrals to our system. We like for our partner agencies to refer people to us, and in turn, we refer people to them. And we have contact lists for all those different agencies in all of our 7 counties. So those are located on our website. If somebody went in to try to make a referral, all the staff has access to that so they can see who is the person in charge of Voc Rehab in Edgefield, who is the person with DSS in Abbeville. So it's really a good system. It's a good resource just to find out who you need to contact where.
So Billy, here's a hypothetical situation. I'm unemployed, or I'm recently laid off. Either way, I guess I would still, if I'm laid off, I'm unemployed too. I imagine. And I'm seeking services. What do I need to do to get in touch with you or other individuals that work with you at Upper Savannah? How do I go about accessing you? What do I need to bring with me? What's going to happen to me when I walk into your office and say, hey, Mr. Morgan, I'm out of a job or I've been laid off. How can you help me?
Okay. Well, our doors are always open, except now. During COVID, we have an appointment system. I'll talk about that later. But basically, you have to make an appointment to come into the center. If you don't have an appointment and you report to the center on the day they're open, then they can talk with someone and make an appointment there if they're not able to do it online. But you make your first appointment. Your first appointment, if you get laid off, most people are really concerned with filing for unemployment so they can at least get some type of payment coming in while they're looking for a job. So we engage with a job seeker very early to help them. They can come in and use our computers. We have a large resource room, plenty of computers in every county. So you come in, instead of you trying to feel your way through at home, if you come into the center, we can help coach you in what you need to do. We're not gonna do stuff for you. We're gonna let you get on a computer and we're gonna help guide you and tell you how to complete your forms. You're gonna answer the questions, and we're just gonna help make sure you cross all the T's and dot all the I's so that you can get your unemployment benefits started if you're a dislocated worker. So that's one of the things we do. Part of that process also is registering in our SC Works job database. That's a system where we basically keep up with your activity. You keep up with your activity as well. You can log in and see where you've put your resumes. There's a resume template in there that you can work with. We can help you. You can also, once you put all your personal information in there and you're looking for jobs, you can also set up a virtual recruiter. So
Uh-huh.
if your last job was in quality as a quality lab technician and you're wanting to stay in that kind of role, you can put keywords in to say whenever a job order is put in that system by us or an employer, soon as that job order comes in, I want you to send me a text to alert me. It can be text, email, it can be through the message system in that account. Uh, Normally, pre COVID, before all this COVID stuff started happening, anybody that filed for unemployment, you are required to log into that system at least once a week and do at least two job searches a week. If
Mhm.
you did not do your two job searches a week in the system, it would send a signal to the UI system and you would not get your unemployment. So that stuff is probably active again now since the $600 extra pandemic unemployment benefit is over. That ran out on July 25th. So
Okay.
we do know that there's a lot of people anxious to get back to work. So, but those are the things that we're going to coach them on. That's things that they might not necessarily find on the website unless they're digging into all the information. But if we're there and they're in person, we're going to tell them all this stuff.
You know, I've been working and I've always been working. And now all of a sudden I'm out of work. I don't have a resume. I have no idea how to develop one. Do you help me do that?
Yes, if you are a dislocated worker and you come in to our center, we're going to help you work on a resume because our job is to try to really help you get a job and get back on your feet as fast as possible. We're not trying to put band-aids on things so you can just stay out of work a long time. Most people are anxious to get back to work, and we're anxious to help you get work. We have employers calling us every day looking for people. So not only are you looking for work, we're looking for work for you. If you get enrolled into the WIA program, which is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, it's a federally funded program that helps dislocated workers find
Okay.
work. It also pays for training in as long as you are trained in a field to where it's a growing occupation. We're not going to pay for things that are low demand. We want to get
Sure.
you into a job as quick as possible. So right now we're doing a lot more quick skills, uh, helping anybody that don't have a high school diploma or a GED. At one time, when the unemployment rate was so low, the employers that needed to hire workers, they were even doing anything they could to find workers, and they started lowering their standards a little bit when they used to would not even talk to anybody without a 5-year work history and a high school diploma. They found themselves even hiring people with a 10th grade education because they couldn't find workers. But now with this pandemic has hit and there's a lot more unemployed people, they're going to be hard pressed to find jobs because the people with the high school diplomas and the work experience are going to get jobs ahead of other people.
You know, with the
So it's really essential that we take those people that don't have high school diplomas and GED and get them ready because the employers are going to get picky again.
and speaking of that, there was um, even in manufacturing now, there's this misperception that you fill out an application, somebody calls you, you walk in, you get a job. But we know that there is a process because those are competitive positions as well. And I need to be, as a potential worker or someone that's seeking employment, I need to be able to go in and sit down with a Billy Ray Morgan or an HR person and get myself through an interview. How are you helping people who have been working jobs for a number of years, they're new to this, and they're faced with the fact that in a competitive market, now I've got to be able to sit down and tell people who I am and express to them what my skills are. How is WIA helping displaced workers who are looking for work to muddle through those processes?
Okay. Basically, when they come in and work with a career coach, the career coach is going to work with them to basically find out more information about their work history. What do they want? What kind of work are they looking for? Then, if they start selecting things that are not in demand, we basically use labor market information, and we have that by the state. We also have it local for our area. Some people have a desire to stay in the Greenwood area. They're not going to move for a job, so we want to tell them what jobs are available, what careers are in demand in this area. Well, sometimes if they left a job as a uh, CNC machine operator, we look at those skills and we look at other jobs that can transition into.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes they may not go right back into that same job. So we're trained to look at their skills and see what they can bring to another employer. We're going to also talk to them about the last time they ever had an interview and what was that interview like. A lot of people have worked 15 years before people started doing behavioral interviews, and that's one big thing that employers are doing now. So we coach them on employer interviewing. We try to coach them on how to answer those questions. We set up mock interviews with them. And we have a lot of people that you come in, you're going to dress the part just like you come into an interview. You're nervous because you've not been to an interview in a while. So we're going to get you ready for an interview. After you interview with us, we're going to give you feedback on how the interview went. Maybe there's something you say or do that is not really good, and we're going to help you get those things corrected. Sometimes even as simple as a email address. Some people may have some kind of crazy email address, uh, and they might have made that email address back when they were 17 in high school, and they've been using it for 20 years, and it's really not a good email for looking for work. So we're going to make sure they have a professional email, make sure they have a phone that works, a good phone message. You don't want to call, an employer would not want to call a job seeker and get a voicemail with some kind of crazy music or some
Yeah.
greeting that's not acceptable. So when you're looking for a job, we're just going to help coach that individual every time we meet them. We're going to give them things to do to make themselves better. We're going to help coach them in the process, and we're going to help them get a job. Not only are they looking for a job, we have business services reps that are going out talking to employers on their behalf. If they have some skills that are not up to par with another employer, we talk to those employers to try to get a on the job training opportunity for them.
And that's speaking to the soft skills training. I wanted to get to that
Mhm.
because more and more as employers, I mean, and we're looking at some major employers in our communities and some training partnerships that are coming forward. You know, you've got the Upstate Center for Manufacturing Technology at Piedmont Tech, which is just going to do so many outstanding things for training individuals to go out into multiple workforce environments. But then again, we've got companies like Tasian and Colombo and some other employers that are coming in, and they're looking for people with not just the ability to work. What separates you are these things called soft skills. Is that what you're referring to? And if so, why are soft skills so important for those individuals who need them, and how that can help you get a job and be consistently employable?
Well, we preach and practice soft skills every day at work. We try to be good stewards of our time, and we show up on time to work. We expect the job seekers that we're working with to show up on time for appointments. So it starts there. You know, when we start making appointments with people and working with them, and we give them appointments next week and the next week for them to come in, if they're not timely, we talk to them about not being timely and
Mm-hmm.
how that affects them. Some of the people that have lost their jobs, they could have got fired because they were not timely. So, uh, you know, uh, a lot of people can't do a job without a cell phone. I mean, they think when they go to work they can't get away from their cell phone, and then you can't do that in some businesses. I mean, I worked at Fuji. We were in a dark room environment. A phone, if you had a phone in your pocket and it had any kind of light on it that would light up if it uh, rang or something, it would uh, ruin the film and cost
Good.
hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we try to get people away from their phones. We talk to them about going to interviews. Don't go to an interview and have a chance of your phone going off in the interview. Leave your phone in the car. Don't even take that chance, because we've all been to meetings where the speaker says make sure your phone's on silent. Then 30 minutes into the presentation, somebody's phone goes off. Well, if that's at an interview and that happens, they probably already writing you off the list.
Good.
So we're constantly trying to instill that in there. And one thing with tech, I know they're looking at your attendance when you come to the manufacturing certification class and you have 4 or 6 weeks of training for 4 to 6 or 8 hours a day, whatever the schedule is. If you That's a real fast-paced training. And if you are out 2 or 3 times, you missed a big chunk of what you need to be trained in.
Right, right.
So sometimes it prevents you from getting a certification if you miss too many days. So that's already ruling out somebody that's not going to get a certification because they missed too many days. So there's repercussions for not participating like you should. So
Okay, so here's another situation. I'm looking for a job. I'm a good worker. I've been at a company, and for whatever reason we disconnected, where the company's gone or laid off, whatever the case may be. Um, I've got a good work history, but I've been in a little trouble before. I got a little something in my background. How can SC Works help me work around that? I'm viewing you as an agent to assist me when I walk in your doors. How do we deal with those individuals? And should an individual with a dot on their criminal black background, for lack of a better term, should they shy away, or are there services to help those individuals as well?
no, they should come in to receive the same services. If they have something on their background, we're going to look to see if it's something we can help them get it expunged from their background. We have a navigator that works in our region uh, who could work with them. We also have a federal bonding program.
Mhm.
It's basically a free insurance policy for an employer. So if Steve, if you come in and you were that person with the background, we're going to talk to you about federal bonding, what it is, and we're going to give you a federal bonding voucher with your name on it that says you qualify for federal bonding. And at the time that you're going for an interview, you're not just going to go flash this around and say, hey, I'm an offender, hire me. But if you are serious about looking for work and you get called in for an interview, this voucher is something you need to take with you to tell them that, because you have to be honest to disclose that to an employer. So at that time, you can tell them that you're able to be federally bonded through this program, and the employer can have insurance to protect them against a dishonest act
Okay.
while on the job. So, uh, and it's renewable after 6 months. The employer might can renew it again, but it's free to the employer for the first 6 months, I think it is. But we have somebody that works in our comprehensive center. If somebody comes in asking about that or has a background, we're going to route them to the right person to work with them.
Excellent. So, you know, um, I know you're here in Greenwood, and I know where to find you. But where else is SC Works?
Okay. We are in all 7 counties. We've been lucky to be able to find a way to keep funding and keep 7 centers open at some part of the week each week. Uh, in Greenwood, we're located at 927 uh, East Cambridge Street, and then it's the old Brewer School. I think most
Okay.
people know where that is. Uh, Abbeville, we're located in the old Abbeville Hospital, which is on Greenwood Street in Abbeville. It's actually across from Burger King. In Edgefield, we're at 21 Star Road, which is in there with the health department in Edgefield.
Okay.
Lawrence FC Works, we're in the old district office over there, and that's actually right beside the Lawrence County Library on 1029 West Main Street.
That's where they also do the Lawrence Adult Ed program.
Yeah, Lawrence Adult Ed has several locations, and that is one of their locations.
Right.
But the easy thing to do is go to upperscworks.com. If you go to upperscworks.com, and across the top, you'll see it says locations. You click on it, it's going to give you all of these county hours, the phone number, and where they're located. But McCormick is right beside Town Hall and the Sheriff's Department. Newberry, we're located right beside Piedmont Tech, one of our core partners that we love so much. So that's where we're located there. And then Saluda, we're located behind the elementary school on West Butler Street. All of our centers are not fully operational right now. We're open Monday through Friday in Greenwood. We're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in Newberry, and Tuesday and Thursday in Lawrence. Let's see. Those are what we do. If you go to upperscworks.com, at the top of our website is a green box. If you touch that box, it says making an appointment. Okay. Once you choose make an appointment, you're going to choose why you're making an appointment, and then choose a date, and it's going to tell you the dates that are available. So there's no wrong time. If that time's available for you to choose, we're open at that time, because that schedule won't allow you to book at a time that's not available and that we're not open. So anybody that needs services needs to come in.
You do have some virtual capabilities as well, because I want you to tell us a little bit more, because now we're getting to the point where we got this information out here, and hopefully people are going to come walking through the doors. But we know you can't just walk through the doors right now. So tell us what the processes are now for joining the WOIA program. Is there any way to, are there opportunities to do things virtually?
Yeah.
What's the setup right now?
Yeah, normally for anybody to come into WOA, we make them to go through a group orientation. Of course, we're not meeting in groups right now. If we do meet in a group, it's a small group and you're sitting far enough apart with face mask on and you're safe. But what we do is we just require everybody to make an appointment. And the case manager, you can make the appointment by phone. The case manager can talk to you on the phone and they can give you the information, send you the link, or allow a time for you to come in and listen to the information session. They can do it one-on-one with you versus seeing a presentation, but we do have it on YouTube. We can send you the link if they're remote and they want to see the presentation at home. You're welcome to do that. When they watch the video, they just need to let us know.
Okay, great. Well, Bill, bless you.
Thank you.
Well, listen, there's so much more information. We really have covered an awful lot. But just to kind of reiterate to our listeners that when you go into the WIA program, you're looking for work, you should expect an eligibility appointment that's going to last about an hour. You should expect to meet with a case manager to set goals, to work towards a basic skills certificate. There's weekly networking and group workshops, and there are activities and services that are appropriate for your plan of getting back to work. It's a comprehensive assistance program for displaced workers or individuals that are just looking for new opportunities. You don't have to be unemployed to come to WIA, do you?
That's right. You don't have to be unemployed to come into the SC Work Center. Everybody will not qualify for participation under the WIOA grant, but everybody that walks in the door qualify for the services. And even the participants in WIOA are shown all the other services that are available to everyone. Uh, for you to get the most bang out of your buck, I guess, which is free actually, but you come into the center and we're going to show you all those resources, tell you about those resources. Uh, you don't have to be unemployed. You can, a lot of people are underemployed. They're working a part time job or working a job, getting paid low wages, and they want a job. They have more wants or more needs and they want a better job. We work with them every day. Uh, you can apply for work. We screen employees based on what the employer wants. So you can't apply for every single job, but there's plenty of jobs for you to apply for. And what we're really good at is talking to somebody about their past work history and kind of marrying that up to a different kind of job sometimes. And we talk to them about how to search for jobs in the system. If you were a forklift technician at plant A and you come in there and you start looking for a forklift technician job, you may miss the job that's called material handler at another plant because it's not listed as the forklift technicians. So we're going to tell you those kind of things so that you're not searching with the wrong keywords. We also have in that database that you can look for work by zip code, by county, by workforce area, anywhere in the state. I mean, all those jobs, there's different ways to sync that system up to make it deliver the jobs you're interested in or the jobs where you're available to go to work. So uh, we're going to help anybody who walks in the door with a resume. You don't have to be a WIOA participant to get help with a resume. So there's really no wrong doors. Come in and we're going to help you.
I tell you, Billy, it's been a great time. We're about out of time for this, and I know we could continue to talk for a greater amount of time because there's just so much more about the SC Works program. But we do appreciate what you and SC Works is doing in our communities to help people get back to work. We do know that there are jobs out there, but we do also understand that there is a higher level of competitiveness than than there's ever been in our communities, and so you've got to have the skills and you have to do the things to separate you from the pack when you can. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you sharing all this information with us. For those who are listening, this is Billy Ray Morgan. Make sure that you call Billy when you get a chance. He's waiting to hear from you. And Billy, any final things that you'd like to say before we close that?
I just want to tell everybody to stay safe. Come into our centers, make an appointment, come in when you can. There are services that I haven't been able to talk to you about in this short of time. I could talk about SC Works for 8 hours and still not cover everything. So please make an appointment, come in, let us know what your needs and wants are, and we're going to work any way we can to help you meet those needs. But everybody's welcome.
Billy, thank you. And thank you all for joining in for another episode of Stevie B at PTC Live. We'll see you again next week, same time, Thursdays at 4, and we'll have another great informative program to share information about the wonderful things that are happening at Piedmont Technical College and in our partnerships with communities and agencies in Greenwood, Lawrence, Edgefield, Abbeville, McCormick, Newberry, and Saluda. That's it for today. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend.